Okay, so my Pecha Kucha is on the symbolic interaction framework, and I'm Brittany McDougald. I chose this topic because the first thing that came to mind was my little brother. He's a bit eccentric in his beliefs, which you'll soon find out. So first I'm going to explain a little about the subject before I introduce my case study. And I'm going to discuss a little about identity and social influences. Identity is a sense of uniqueness that you get from other people, and it's acquired as a social identity based on memberships in various groups. And identity satisfies the need for affiliation and help, and defines themselves in the eyes of other people. So what these people do, the symbolic interaction researchers, they investigate how people create meanings through social interactions and how they present or construct their identity on or how they define situations involving themselves and other people. So that's my brother. Yeah, he's really green in the greenest sense. He is, it kind of seems like I'm mocking him a little bit, but I'm not sure everybody will agree. So this is a quote from PETA, and PETA, they have this little packet that to get new members to be vegetarians, and mostly it's what stars have to say, celebrities, about being vegetarian. So I just think that it's really just, to get people through social things. So Grant wasn't always so health and animal conscious. Now he's vegan, and he won't eat any kind of meat or animal byproducts. But when he was a little kid, we'd have salad for dinner, and he'd have to have a pizza. So he wasn't like that all the time. So socialization happens during childhood, usually at home, and then it goes to your socialization in school, socialization in high school, and then to college or work. And this takes place in the family at younger ages, and then larger arenas. So we grew up in Mendota, so obviously Grant wasn't always the way that he is now. And it wasn't even in Mendota, it was like 20 miles outside of Mendota. And it was very rural, in the middle of nowhere. And then he supposedly transferred to Clovis West for academic reasons, but it was because he met a girl. So everything changed. The people he hung out with changed. It started being people who would fly to China just to be activists. And So in role making, individuals actively construct and express their roles uniquely, and the self actively engages in its own development. This process may be unpredictable, which obviously happened. It was unexpected. So that's him again. He likes to watch documentaries about food and how animals are killed and sold and stuff like that, just so he can tell people about them and kind of ward them away from that stuff. And it's not really fun to sit in a car with him for a long time. It really. This is one movie, this documentary, that he cannot stop talking about. And he spouts information and statistics to anyone who will listen, pretty much. And this is about buying local food and stuff like that. Now he's volunteering at the SPCA because a lot of his friends are doing it, and they all kind of get together and bike ride over there from, Cedar and Nice. It's kind of far. And this is something that he does with his friends that are in the Green Jobs program. So this is kind of just like a joke slide, It's him building an igloo up in the mountains. But it's just to say that, I love my brother. He's kind of crazy and out there, but it's just who he is now. And I really think of him as a modern-day hippie. He's really just going with society and what's new, and hopefully he'll grow out of it. But it seems like the hippie era is coming back in a slightly different way. And he even looks like a hippie in that picture. His hair's all long. Okay. So he started riding his bike a lot, and that even drew him more to the hippie side because he became a member of the Fresno Bike Coalition. He takes like 25-mile bike rides to the mountains with this group of people. And through them, he got involved in the Green Jobs Corps of Fresno. So he's not very fun to grocery shop for. He likes really expensive stuff, and Whole Foods just smells funny. I don't like it. It's really gross. And Trader Joe's. He kind of went nuts when Fresh and Easy came. I still haven't gone there just to rebel against him. Yeah, we went shopping one time, and we were at Vaughn's because I made him go to Vaughn's for about an hour and a half because we had to check every brand of orange juice to see if it was unpasteurized, like they have at Whole Foods apparently. It was so time-consuming. I was very irritated. So now he has a new route in Tower District, and it's where they go from business to business, trying to get scraps for the Fresno Community Garden. And I have an injury because we had to go get plywood in the rain so he can make a compost bin. And it was yesterday. He went from restaurant to restaurant in the Tower District in the rain, and it was hailing for a while, on his bike with a little trailer attached to it, going from store to store for a compost pile. Yeah, it was. My mom was in town. She was about to have a heart attack, thinking about him downtown, riding his bike in little alleys, the trailer, the bunch of compost stuff in it. And so the book says roles change throughout one's lifetime. And I really like to hold on to that thought. And it gives me solace, thinking that maybe he'll grow out of it, and maybe he won't be so influenced by all these social things that are happening and what's popular now, being green, eco-friendly, vegetarian, all that stuff. I'm hoping that eventually he'll grow up a little bit, start eating meat, but who knows. These are where I got all the pictures and quotes and everything from for my presentation.